Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Debbie, this is my Crafty Dan, and this is Monday, so I am doing a Memorydex card. My normal Memorydex cards, I make them quite small. They are 4 inches, of course that's the standard width, but I only do mine 3 inches tall, and you can take them up to 3 3/4, and you're pretty good if somebody is using these on a Rolodex. I want to make mine a little bit higher this week. So I'm going to cut myself a card. I'm going to go my 4 inches for my standard width. But I'm going to do 4 inches tall as well. I want it just a little bit taller. And I have a Heidi Swap punch, but if you don't have one of these, you can make the holes using just a punch and a pair of scissors. So this is watercolor paper, just the cheap stuff from the dollar store, but you could use any decent cardstock to make this blank Memorydex card if you wanted to. Now this week's theme is Easter. I'm going to do a collage method this week. I'm looking for a background paper. I'm looking for something like this. I mean, that would be just about the right height, and but I don't want that house. That one's really cute. Yeah, that would be good. So that's an option. That's lovely. So I want more than one image on here. So I think I'm going to go to, which one was it? This one. I think I'm going to go to this one, and I'm going to cut this out. I like this tiny little flag here, this banner. I guess it's a banner, not a flag, that says Happy Easter. I'm going to put that aside as well. I absolutely love this fairy, and I love this little fairy as well. This little fairy here, without the egg, just the fairy, would be a nice addition if I can get it to work. Okay, so I have my images cut out. I also want a full-sized image behind this. Oh, that's pretty. Just that blue. So you can use the backs of these pages as well. I think I like this blue here. And I probably won't use, I mean, it doesn't matter. There's so many of these images similar to this in the other book that if I use some of this blue, I think I'll be good. I'm going to cut just across like this. So this is just strictly going to be a collage card today. I'm cutting across that because when I glue, I'm going to cut this out after I glue it down. So I want to put this. So if I cut this off, I'm just trying to figure out where the best color is for me. So I can glue this into this corner like this. Now, do I want it to go like this so that I've got the darker at the bottom, or do I want the dark at the top? I think I want the dark at the bottom. So I'm going to glue it this way. And of course, I'm going to grab my Mod Podge and a paintbrush. I'll probably have to put a little more in here. If I put Mod Podge on this, I mean, it's about the strength of copy paper, maybe even a little bit better. These books are actually quite good paper. So I'm going to put Mod Podge on the back of that, and I'm just going to let that dry. And that'll strengthen that paper. And while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to trim this out. Not such a pretty color. I'm going to have to repunch this. So I have this. So I'm going to put this on here. How am I going to put it? I'm going to put it down so that the jar is just above the lines. I'm going to put it just a little bit to the right there. So I'm going to put some glue on here. This is probably going to be the easiest Memorydex card that I've ever made. I love just using these books with all these beautiful images and papers and putting them together and doing what I want to do with them. Just remember to keep punching your image if it sticks over your holes. Eventually, you have to stop because you're going to get to where your paper is too thick to go in your punch. Unless you've got the regular one, then it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to put her, I want her to be sitting. Do I want her on the eggs and leaning back on the jar like this? Yeah, I think so. She's not going to be sticking up after all, so. Okay, let's get her so she's sitting right here. Maybe I will have her up a little bit. She's going to be sitting up on that egg. There. And then I might want another egg or something something in here so that her feet are resting on something. So I'm going to look at my images again. I really love these little tiny eggs. And I could just add more eggs to this. And I think that's what I'm going to do. So I want this one to come right up under her feet, or should I use a lighter colored one? To come right up under her feet and just kind of be there so that she's resting her feet on it. That makes sense to me, so I think I do want this one. So I'm going to take a Crayola Super Tip, and I'm just going to put I just wanted a little bit of a bottom on this. So a little bit of shadow there. Now I'm going to take a paintbrush. I'm going to dip it in the water. And it's just darkening that up a little bit. Take a pen, just ooh, I don't want that one. I want a permanent ink pen. And I'm just going to make some little lines. Switch to a micron pen because I want something that does really fine lines, and I've got a 005 micron here, and I think that this will work just a little bit better. I wanted to highlight her wings and her dress, make them pop. We're gonna make some of these eggs, just the ones that I added extra. So I've highlighted just a few things off the page. Now I want to, there's a bit of white here where I didn't fussy cut every paintbrush because I knew I'd end up tearing one off. I mean, they're pretty small. So what do I need? I need some white splatter on here. I am just going to put a teeny tiny little bit of white paint there. I need a little water. And I have a kind of a brush here. This is a cheap brush, and it's got really stiff bristles on it. But it'll hold a lot of paint, but it kind of holds it loosely. I'm mixing that water in so that this is runny. I'm going to kind of, okay. Maybe I want to cover over that just a little bit. So I'm just going to there, maybe a little more. Some white splatter. And I am going to take this Faber-Castell and I'm going to dip it in water. And I'm going to go I just took a tissue. I'm just wiping that first one off because I had too much water on my pencil. And instead of edging, it kind of puddled along there. So I've got a brown watercolor pencil. And if I use a wet brush on it, I make a mess on my table, but I have enough water on here that it's dripping down to the bottom. leaving it dripping. I'm just taking the little puddles off the bottom edge there. Yeah, it grounds it a little bit down here. Makes it look like it's sitting on something because there's a little shadow. So rather than it just floating on the card. I just need to put on this little piece. I didn't put anything on this except for a little bit of Mod Podge on the back. And it says Happy Easter. So where do I want it? I think I just want it down. Maybe right in the middle. So I don't think I'm quite done yet because, I mean, it's really whimsical. But I also have, I hope I have enough of this left, to put some stickles on here. If I have enough of the diamond. Because I think her wings deserve it. And I'm really going to put it on here. So I'm kind of just following all the little veins that are in her wings. And I think I need to outline my Easter banner. So there's my finished card. I think it's adorable. Those ephemera books, you can use them however you want. You can use a single image out of them if you want to. I use the single images a lot for in my planner. But on something like this, the layers, so I've got the background, I've got the main image, then I've got my fairy on top. I added some extra eggs. Every time I added an extra bit, it gives a little bit more depth to it. This little bit of shading down under the bottom here grounds it. And I think the stickles were the perfect finishing touch. So the Memorydex card challenge is pretty simple. All I'm challenging you to do is make a card, a Memorydex card each week. Get in your craft room and create. Don't forget to do a birthday theme for the week of your birthday. Do the holidays that you want to do because you may celebrate different holidays than I do. That's okay. And you can do my prompts, or you can just make it your own, whatever you want. So next week's prompt is April showers. You can do April showers or do one of the other, birthday, holiday, or just something that you love. So that's it, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this week's Memorydex video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. In the comments, if you didn't do an Easter theme, let me know what you did do. I'm really curious to see what everyone's doing. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would love if you would subscribe before you leave. And come on back, see what else I'm up to. And definitely you can join anytime in the Memorydex challenge and do a Memorydex card every week with me. So bye-bye for now. I'll see everyone in the next video. Take care.